Alright, so I'm back. I'm going to be working on, again, the card game today. Um, Technically, with my plan, I should be moving on to another project, but I don't want to be too rigid with that. And I'm making some progress on something that I don't want to just stop doing for now. So, couple things I did off stream to try to get the subscription thing working. Actually, really quick before I get to that, I look back at this chat component. Actually, let me go to the change view or the diff view. And I noticed I had async here, and because of that, it needed to return a promise. So, but I noticed I wasn't using await anywhere in this function, so I didn't need that. And it made this, what I was trying to figure out down here a lot easier. So I didn't need to yeah, I didn't need to do anything special there. I just return the unsubscribe, set it to a variable, and then in the cleanup function, I just called unsubscribe. So that's something I changed, just a small change. I was thinking too, I could probably just move all the logic from here inside of the use effect. I don't see a reason why to call a separate function, but I'll leave it for now and maybe do that later. Also, one thing too is I was just thinking about this. Like, I could extract some logic from here into another book or whatever, which I think is fine. But from my experience, if you do too much moving things to different files and whatnot, it just becomes kind of hard to find things and doesn't really help. If it becomes a massive component file where I just have tons of logic, and especially if I have logic I want to reuse in other components, then I could pull it out to maybe a custom hook or something like that. But I think for this, it's fine. Just leave it as is, and we're good to go. And maybe, like I said, move the logic from load messages into use effect, and then I don't need to have this pattern where I'm just calling a function. Okay, so that was that. I don't remember if I mentioned it last time. I'm sure I did, because I was using the Firestore emulator, I'm sure. But I did have to import this connect Firestore emulator, just like the other emulator functions. For the functions in auth, I had to do the same thing. So for the emulator, Firestore had to do that. I'm pretty sure I already mentioned that though. I was having an issue before where it wasn't. It was loading up in the when you call the emulator start. I need to do that right now, actually. So that's going to be within here. In functions. Actually, I could do it from back here. It doesn't matter though. I don't think. Open this in a terminal. And we want to do Firestore emulators start only auth functions Firestore. That looks good, I think. Not Firestore, Firebase. Okay, so like I was saying, I was starting the Firestore in here, is working. I could change things in the UI, which I'll load up as well. Unless I already have that loaded. I actually don't have anything loaded. And so yeah, I could access it in here, load it in the UI, and but it wasn't connecting to it from the front end because I did not have it connecting to it, basically. Let me format this file. I wonder. I need to import my formatting configuration in this project. I haven't done that yet. Not a good idea, or I don't think it's a good idea to have inconsistent semicolons and not semicolons, stuff like that. So, um, okay, so that's that. What else? So in here, I guess the main issue in here, if we look at this file, what I was doing before is I had the subscribe functionality. Where is that? On snapshot. This was inside of the handler for the handle play now, and that wasn't working. I'm not 100% sure why, but there was some state being updated, I think, in here, if I'm not mistaken. And when the state was being updated, basically it would, when you update state, it reruns the code in the component. Um, and the snapshot wasn't saving. I'm not exactly sure how this on snapshot work. It registers some sort of subscription somehow, and that was not like consistent across the re-renders, I guess, is what was happening. But I looked up some examples, and I actually had this going already in the chat component. But the place where you want to do subscriptions is in use effect, and that's when you load the component. And you can do that with a document that doesn't already exist. So Firebase, the feature of on snapshot is you can subscribe to a document or changes in a document that doesn't already exist. So that was like confusing me earlier, but now that I know that that is a thing and I read about it, that's actually very helpful for what I'm trying to do. So this document, technically, when this is created, doesn't necessarily exist, but I need to watch for changes on it. So yeah, we can do that in the use effect and only set that up once when the component is mounted. Okay, so that's that. I'm not sure how this is going to work. I think it will work though. I still need access to this unsubscribe from the handle cancel play now because I don't want them still to be subscribed to changes if they do cancel, basically remove themselves from the pool. So I'll have to test and see how that works. But I at least got the subscription working. It's showing the updates when I update something, and it's working locally, so it had nothing to do with the remote permissions or the fact that the local version doesn't provide updates or anything like that. So that's good. Let me see. What is this document reference? Hmm. Okay. Document reference. Yeah, that's fine. So did I load that up? Yeah, I loaded that up. So let's test this out. I think I talked about it before. You can save the state or the stuff that's in your local version of Firestore, authentication, etc. There's a way to do it kind of automatically when you there's a command you add or a flag you add at the end of the command for start. It's like load and save. I don't remember what it was exactly, but I tried it out and it was causing some errors. I don't know. It didn't work right. Maybe I was doing it wrong, but it didn't work very well. So I decided to just recreate these collections as needed. Um, it doesn't take too long. It's not that big of a deal. I only have one right now anyways. If it becomes too much of a pain, I will just look into using auth, or not using auth. I'll just look into using remote Firestore to do my testing. One thing I did try too, because I was trying to get that to work, or I was trying to use the remote, is I tried to use local auth with remote database, and it doesn't. I didn't think it would work, but it doesn't work. It says you don't have permissions basically when you do that. As far, maybe I did that wrong, but I don't think that'll work. Okay. So, what's the next step? Let me load this logic brainstorming thing I have. And, oh yeah, I want to just test it and make sure it works. So let's go sign in. Anytime. It seems to be frozen. There is a way, by the way, how I have to, like, so it gets stuck and I have to resize this. There is some settings that I've found before. Like, I think if you disable quick edit or something like that, or insert, there's some stuff you could do to make that not happen or not happen as much. But, I don't know what happened there. Got stuck. Anyways. Alright, so play now remove. So let me open the console. So if we look here, let's add this guy. Oh, another thing too is I don't need to initially create this because when the database goes to create it, it automatically creates it. So I'm pretty sure that's true. Let me delete this and just double check that. Okay, so if I do play now, yeah, so it does that. So I don't need to like create it initially. So that'll help a lot for testing anyways. All right. And then so I added them. Let's remove them. Let's make sure that's working. He's gone. Let's add them again. So here you see the snapshot data coming in already. And now if I go to change, so you see, well, I'll just clear it out. So there's nothing there. If I go to change this document, so capital, set that to false. So you'll see the snapshot coming in. So everything's working. I can continue on. That capital thing, that was just some testing code. I don't know if I went over that or not. But I just wanted to see if I basically just want to see if they would get the notification in the same, like basically if they would get the notification in the same function call, right? So they create the document here, it's created. They're watching that document already, it doesn't exist, but the create comes through and that gives them the snapshot. And then this set capital, I'm pretty sure, and it could be anything. Capital means nothing. I could say game ID. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hmm. Okay, let's actually try that. I guess that's the next step. I need to see, based on the snapshot that's coming through. Um, and that snapshot, by the way, loads once always. There might be a way to not do that, but I think it's fine. Capital, let's just remove capital. Okay, so if I go to remove, document's gone. If I go to play now, okay, so it sets the game ID. All right, so I need to react to the change where the game ID is coming through. So should probably commit this code at some point. I did do some testing here with when I couldn't figure out what was going on. I was like trying to just get the doc just in case there was some I was like not referencing the doc correctly or something. And I was using the same player doc and it was coming through. I couldn't figure out what was going on, but yeah, again, that was because of what I described with the use effect and all that stuff. So everything should be good now. Also, I do want to test, like I was saying, this remove from pool. Test if this works. Okay. All right. And then for now, let's close some of this stuff. I just want to see, like I was saying, if what stuff is coming through on the subscriptions. Where is it? Console log, doc snapshot. Okay, so document snapshot. Let's go to the docs. Actually, am I getting type hints here? Whatever. Need more information, I think. Reference. Um, Documents, snapshot. Okay. Data. What are these options you could pass? Not sure if I need that right now. Keep that in mind though. So data. Console. What? Data. Let's start there. See what we get back. Let's change this. 10. So we just get an object back with the two things, timestamp and game ID. Okay, console, so dot snapshot, cons document data equals console.log document data dot game ID, possibly undefined. True. Let's do it this way. Okay, format. I wonder why the format didn't add a semicolon in the other file. Well, let me see something. Huh. I don't know. Document data. Game ID. So, think about this. Oh, I want to see what it is. I want to see what it is at the beginning. So when you first create the thing. Okay, let me clear this out. So when you first create it, you get timestamp, undefined, that's the game ID. Okay. Document data, game ID. So this will only run if the game ID exists now, right? It's still logging that out because of this line. Cool. All right. That sounds good. Game ID. So if they get the game ID, I'm trying to think now. So maybe I'll load this or open this up. Finds enough players. It creates a game, which creates that field. I think at that point, the backend should actually create the game document. So let's put that logic in there. So it finds enough players and it creates the game document, and then it creates the field. All right, let's do that. Let's bring this back. I don't know why I deleted that. All right, so the back end, if doc exists, already exists, return 400, await, play now ref doc UID create. Okay. And now, so this was just testing. I need to move this down. Const await, order by game or timestamp, get limit 4. Limit will be non-playable. And then it'll get may need function to run. Yeah, I'll check that later. If document size is less than num players, okay. Documents for each document snapshot. So we do need basically the ID. We don't need the data. Okay. Documents for ID. We just need to collect the IDs here. Is there a faster way to do that? To just get all their IDs without doing this for each thing? Not sure there is. I mean, there's the documents, which has all the documents. And the for each really, like if I was going to map them into, yeah. So we take each of the IDs, and we create a game. Okay. Create a game document and add each of the IDs, player UIDs to it. So document snapshot dot data. Probably don't want data. We want document ID. Probably just that. Just gonna say document instead of snapshot. Um, this is interesting here too. Let me get rid of this. Maybe it's only in V1, but let's see, document snapshot. Yeah, I think it's only in V1, or at least that type is only in there. Okay. I guess for now, let's just console log the IDs. Yeah, we'll call this player ID. That's really what it is. So if documents size is less than number of players, return. Otherwise, for each of the documents, create a game document. All right. So we need a game collection. I don't need to go create that because with creating the document itself will take care of that. Play now pool. Let's add a thing in there, a constant. What do I call that over here? Play now pool collection. Const play now pool collection equals that. And then const. Probably move these constants around somewhere else, but maybe not. Maybe they could just stay there. We'll see. Play now pool collection. I think at some point I'll probably want to move these functions. I mean, these two go together, so they could stay in this file or module. But might want to move some of the other functions to other files for organization. For now, we're good. So play now pool, this will be game collection. Games. The only reason I'm making these constants, I guess if I refer them in multiple places and for some reason I want to change the name of that, I could just do it in one place easily. But I don't know, I don't see that happening, but no problem either way. Okay. Game collection games, so that's going to be referred to down here. Const game collection equals db.collection game collection. Yep, they call them refs. You know what? I don't like that. Because sometimes a ref can refer to a document, sometimes a ref can refer to a collection. So I'm just going to change this name. Could also hit F2 to rename stuff, but I want to check all the places that was. Play now ref, play now collection. Game collection is that. Okay, so the game collection. So we need to generate a random ID. I think the best way to do that is with a timestamp plus unique ID. So let's install UUID. Do we have imports here? Oh, yeah, we do. Okay. No, I need to install it in the functions. Actually, I don't even really need something this long. Is there a short? And that can be really short. This one does a timestamp. UUID short. Short UUID. Okay. I think I'm gonna do my own, actually. So there's two things I could do here. I can make a game ID, like pretty short, like 5 letters, mix of 5 letters, numbers, whatever. Um, I could also um I could also append a timestamp to it, and that would like guarantee it's unique. So that's one way to do it. Um, but then it would be long again. Because like date dot now. Hey, thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow, Joe. Um, Let me see what date dot now looks like. I think it's pretty long. Date dot now. So the game ID could be that plus some letters. I mean, yeah, plus some random letters, but then I run into the issue that I have a long ID again. It would definitely be shorter than this, though. The other approach is the good part about this would be what I just was talking about is it would be basically guaranteed to be unique, right? If it's using the date plus random, or almost guaranteed, basically. The other approach would just to be create a short one, like 5 letters, and then just check if it already exists first before I create it. The downside of that is it's an extra operation, which is not a big deal. Hey, how's it going, Joe? How you doing today? It'd be an extra operation to Check if it already exists. Not a big deal. Is there any other downsides to that? What does LHS do? Cool. What brings you here? Were you browsing through the software category? So LHS, you create a game. Sorry for the guy that I'm not gonna play a game with. Um, so how long is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so they do a mix of numbers and letters. Um, cool. So you were just browsing through. So what do you what kind of stuff do you work on, Joe? What kind of programming stuff do you work on? I was asked that people come in, just curious what everyone else is working on. Um, I find a pretty good mix too. Sometimes it's like someone that's just learning, sometimes it's someone that's been doing it for a while and they're doing some really advanced stuff that I've never even heard of. Sometimes they're doing whatever, machine learning, I've heard all kinds of stuff. Um, let's see. So unique ID. I mean, I could just I don't want to install another library. I don't mind installing UUID. It's pretty well known. I just don't want to install some like short UUID. I don't know. I just don't like installing a bunch of libraries. I could get rid of that UUID library, but I'll take care of that later. I'll make a note. I think for the sake of ease, for now I'll just do UUID, um, create shorter UID custom, and then either check if game exists or append timestamp, and then remove UUID library from dependencies. But for now, I'll just use it. Just make things easy. Move along. All right, so where is that library? Where's the docs for that? Did I close them? You still there, Joe? NPM UUID. I guess I closed that. Thought I had it open still. Okay. Import from UID v4. Another thing is too, like, let's say to be really lazy, I could just like cut off the first part um, and just use that. Yeah, okay. Thanks for stopping by. Um, Pressure, of course. Answer any questions. I was just wondering. All right, let's see. So I need to import that up here. Import from UUID. I need the types. Yeah, types UUID. Okay, let's import that as well. Okay, we should be good now here. Yep, that went away. Just started? Okay, cool. Are you learning like web development stuff or other stuff? Like I know a lot of people usually start with web development, but I've heard people starting with games or just basic learning Python or whatever. Um, UID 4, so how does this work? I think you just call it and it gives you game development Python. Nice. That's pretty cool. Any kind of games you are particularly interested in making, even if you don't have the knowledge yet? Any sort of games that you would be interested in making later? So game ID, getting lost here. So create unique ID, so console.log. Let's just see what this gives back. Game ID, and then this will be const game ID equals. Let's move that to a different line. Okay, let's move that down here. Let's put some labels on this. Game ID, player ID. Good games, yeah. Yeah, that'd be the idea, right? Make a good one. All right, game ID, player ID. Okay, cool. All right, let's see what happens. Remove, add. Okay, did that work? Oh, right, we need to, oh, that's never gonna run because of this. Let's remove that for now. Okay, let's try that again. Remove, add. Should hopefully see something in the console. Okay, so we get the game ID back and the player ID. Nice. All right. So create a game document, add each of the player IDs to it. Okay, so we have the game ID. Let's go ahead and create the game document. So I think we already have some example code here. Play now collection. So we can take this, call it game collection doc. This is going to be game ID, create, move this up. What am I working on? So it's gonna be like, let me see if I can find an example. Online spades. So it's just gonna be basically spades. It'll be kind of like this, sort of, but you would go to like new game, or no, multiplayer, enter name, Matt. Um, so I want it right now. I'm working on matchmaking, so there wouldn't be like this. You don't join tables or whatever. I want a button that says like play now, similar to chess on this site. You just hit play, and then it puts you in a pool, matches you up. Um, so that's basically what I'm working on now. The overall game is going to be basically a multiplayer online spades. So I can join the table. I kind of like this, actually. So you join the game. Sorry, guys. I don't have time to play that right now. Something like that. Something not too complicated, but has a lot of things to it that's I'm learning how to deal with stuff like the matchmaking stuff. Never done anything like that. So right now, I guess I can go over it with you really quick, too. So right now it's just a basic site. There's nothing here. I mean, these are just buttons for testing. Right. Obviously, it's not going to look like this. I'm going to style these buttons, style everything eventually, but But it's using Firebase, and if you hit play now, it'll add your player ID as a document to this pool. And when that happens, the server also, it's a function, Firebase function, which is like a Lambda in AWS. It'll run through, it'll make sure that you're requesting to be added to the 2-player or 4-player pool. It'll then create your document in that pool if it doesn't already exist. If it already exists, it doesn't do anything, basically. Um, and that shouldn't happen anyways, because the user, once you hit play now, this button will be removed from the page. So someone would actually have to try to make another request for that to even get here. But yeah, if it already exists, it doesn't do anything. If it doesn't exist, it creates your document in there with the timestamp. And the timestamp will say who joined the pool first. And then it will, at the same time, check and see if there's enough documents in there, which documents represent players in the pool, if there's enough of them in there to start a game um, for that particular pool that they joined, and that would be based on the num players 2 or 4. I have to comment this out right now because I'm testing and I don't have enough players. Once that happens, I mean, if there's not enough players, it'll just return from this function, fine, you join the pool, everything's good. If there is enough players, so it gets past this if statement, then it will basically loop through these documents, um, get their IDs. Where is that? Right here. It'll get their IDs. It'll create a game document in a game collection, which doesn't currently exist, but there'll be like a new collection for games. And then that document will be created with a unique ID, and then those players' IDs will be added as fields on that new document. Um, and that'll be like, and then after they get added as fields, um, oh no, the other thing it'll do is add I forgot this part. It'll add these documents in here in the pool represent players, and when the player adds it, it'll create a subscription, a real-time update subscription to see when has this been updated, and it will add a field that has the game ID as soon as this logic in the backend is done, and then that will once a player receives that notice that the game has basically been created, so there's enough players, it'll then the front end will redirect them. So that's going to be like here. Where is that? So it's basically going to be like here. If there is a game ID in that update to the document, then it'll redirect them to the, I guess I can move this comment in here. It'll redirect them to a URL. So for example, LHS, when you join a game, I'm sure you've seen this before in many places, but I'll just watch one. This isn't a good example. Games. Yeah, so when you join a game, it goes to another URL with that game ID. So that'll happen on the front end. It'll go to that URL. When that URL is loaded, it'll take the player's ID that joined it, um, and if it matches up with the the one that's in the document that the backend creates for the game, it'll basically mark that person as ready. And if all 4 of the players or all 2 of the players are ready, it'll start the game. So something like that. I'm sure there's some stuff to work out there and make it work properly, but that's the basic idea of what I've kind of came up with so far. All right, so wait, game ID, create. This needs to be a async function. Or not? Wait, what? Did I spell that wrong? Async. What am I doing wrong here? How long have I've been coding? I've been coding a while. Probably over 20 years, but at the same time, I haven't taken it seriously until recently. So, oh, I'm spelling that wrong. That's the problem. What the heck is going on? Um, there we go. So yeah, I've been coding a while, on and off. Seriously, about 2 to 3 years, I've gotten more serious into it. I'll say 2 years, about. So, I mean, based on 20 years, if I had kept up with it the whole time, since I started getting interested in it when I was younger up until now, I would definitely be a lot more skilled than I am right now, that's for sure. You know, things happen. I didn't do that. All right, so async, await game collection, doc, game ID, create, uh, and then we need to add each of those players to that doc. So we need to set, oh, we only want to do this once. So this is going to create the document for each, yeah, this is going to move this outside of this, not within the loop. Okay, so game collection, DB collection, game collection, UUID4, create it. We'll give it a timestamp it was created, that's fine. We could call it created instead of timestamp. Created at, I think that's a little bit better. And then we loop through the documents for each, and we add, do I need what I'm doing here? Do I need to do like doc.create like I'm doing that? Or can I just do, I'm not sure actually. What does this give you back? You know what? It's fine. I don't know why I'm thinking about this like that. So game collection, so down here for each game ID, I don't need that anymore. Game collection dot doc game ID dot set, I think. Set or update? Let me see. Build, Firestore, uh, Get real-time updates. Add manage data. Add data. Node. So we could definitely do this merge through, which I used before. I thought there was an update method though. Oh, update a document. Oh, update a field that already exists. Whatever. I don't know. Okay. We can just use set and merge. So we're gonna set, um, this is gonna be player ID. Okay, sounds good. Set player ID, to false. It's gonna be a Boolean, I think, for now. And then they'll turn to true as the people join. Those will turn into true. I can get rid of that. Might as well log that out for now. I should log this out as well. Okay. Let's get rid of this comment and that comment. Get rid of this as well. Clean that up a little bit. All right, let's see if it works. So remove shouldn't be there now, right? It's not working anymore. Got frozen, I think. Okay, and then add. What did it do? Nice, created a game, created at. Oh, the key should not be player ID. It should be the player ID. So that needs to be in brackets. If this doesn't work, then we could just do it by create an object. Let's see if it works though. Let's delete with collection. Actually, I didn't need to do that. Okay, remove, play, games. Cool. Maybe that should be in a field though. Yeah, there should be another collection here actually of players. There'll be a collection of state, game state, players, and chat will be the three collections. So let's do that. Set So can you create a collection with set? Yeah, I just need to do well, let me think about this. So game collection, so it creates a game, like, do I need to do this separately? I think I can create the players collection all at once. Pretty sure I could do that. What does this take? Let's look at the docs here. Players collection. Hmm. Behind the scenes, ad and doc set are completely equivalent. Okay. Let's see what set take. So this is the document reference, I guess. Document reference. This is going to be a node. So collection set. So set just takes some data. Okay. How about a collection reference? How about just the DB itself? Let's see, collection. Yeah, I think I can, let me try that. So if I just do DB collection for now, let's get rid of this and go game collection. Um, game collection slash um, game ID, uh, game ID slash what was the last part? Players. So if I move this down, let's see what happens here. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Okay. So remove. Okay, and then add. Okay, does work. I don't know if I want that to be a collection though. I mean, I could have it be a collection of documents, just with the IDs. Hmm, not sure we need that though. Let's trying to think how I want to do this. I mean, this would work for sure, but could I just simplify it a little bit? You know what? I think this is fine. So I have a document. What? Does this have stuff in it already? So that players. Okay, so the document name itself will be the player ID, and then we'll have ready or joined. I don't care about created at in that case. Um, okay, so create. I don't need any fields. So game collection.doc, game ID dot set, and this will be joined. This will not be game ID. This will be player ID. We'll move this down here. Game players collection. The document create for player ID, and then player ID set joined is false. Merge true. Doesn't matter in this case, actually. Alright, let's see what that looks like. So if I go back, just delete this. Is it gone? It takes a second. Alright, so nobody's in the database. This guy joins. Seems like there was an error somewhere. Argument for data is not a valid Firestore document. Input is not a plain JavaScript object. Okay. It didn't even create the game collection though. Let's just not do this part and see what happens. Same error. Make sure it's saving that. I'm not sure if it actually loaded that before. Maybe it did. Let's try it again. I don't think this is gonna work, but let's give it a shot. Yeah. Argument for data, though. Input is not a plain JavaScript object. I'm not even sure where I'm doing that. Let's get rid of that, I guess. Well, in that case, it won't even create anything. I could just create the game ID first. Let's just do that. It'll be easier to understand too. Game collection, DB collection. So bring this back, basically what I had before. Game collection, game ID, create it. Get rid of this. Well, I'll copy this. And this will just be game collection. So you're creating that document. Let's just make sure this is working first before anything else. Okay. Is that not what I had before? Hmm. Definitely airing out. Valid for argument data. Alright, so you have the game ID, the game collection dot game ID create. I feel like it's not compiling or something. So something's going on here, right? So if I get rid of this, it should definitely not air out at all. If it's still airing out, something else is going on. Hmm. That's definitely working. I swear this is what I just had a minute ago. Okay, let's bring it back in piece by piece. EB collection. So this is where it's airing. You need to give it some data here, maybe? I think maybe that's what it is. Let's try it. Let's try adding some data. I think that was the only thing. Created at timestamp. Okay, let's try that again. Remove. Play. Alright, cool. So it just needs some data to start out with. But I guess what I want to create is the players collection. That's really all I could do to create like that. That's fine actually. All right, so from here, I'll leave that there, I guess. Up here. So from here, I want to game players collection. So we'll say const players. Can I call it game players collection? Yeah, that's fine. Equals db.collection game collection, and then I don't have that in the clipboard anymore, but so this slash, is that how you do the routes? I think so. That slash game ID slash players. Game players collection. Okay, game players doc, player ID create. And then we'll give them a joined false. Am I doing this right? I think so. Player ID, let's move that here. Okay, let's try that again. Games. We have a players. We have the player ID. Let's make sure that matches this guy. So J5 WIW, and he has joined equals false. And then when yeah, when this guy loads that URL of the game ID, he will it will set that to true based on his logged in ID. Okay. What could go wrong here? So it does create a game every time there. Is it possible someone Oh, hey Joe. Is it possible someone is back? I mean, not is back. Is someone could be added to multiple games when it's not what I'm trying to do. So someone joins a game. It cycles through, adds those players. Once it adds those players, it's gonna take them out of the pool. So that's one thing I need to do. Yeah, that is another thing too. So there's no way right now, how I have it set up, that someone can't join multiple games, which may not be a bad thing, but I think probably should not allow that. Um, that would have to be set just on some like player metadata collection or something. So I'm not going to do that right now, but I'm going to make a note. Um, Well, first I'm going to remove player from pool, and then also make sure, actually, that should happen somewhere up here. If player is already in a game, not in pool, play now pool, then return. Okay. Not gonna worry about that now. If someone wants to join multiple games, I guess they can. I mean, the site's not even available anyways, so. But I may leave that as an option. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, I have to go really quick. I'm gonna take about, I don't know, probably a 10-minute break, maybe a little bit longer. But made some progress. Gonna continue when I get back on this. I don't know if I'm gonna finish the matchmaking today, probably not, but I'll make some more progress in it when I come back. So, Joe, thanks for stopping by. Hopefully I'll see you around again sometime. And if you have any questions, I'm definitely not like an expert, but I do have experience programming. So if you have any questions about programming in general or whatever, let me know. I'll try to help. All right. Well, I think I'll be back kind of shortly. We'll see. I just have to take care of a few things, but yeah, thanks for watching and see you next time.